Phew, bro, don't you think it's a bit too early to start drinking? Hey, I can take it lah. Plus, can always flush it out with water later. Water? Huh? I think you need more than just water lah. Hey, maybe you should take it easy on... You wait and see. Later, my Korean dispenser water will set my body straight. What? Dude, hey, one glass of water is not enough lah. Sorry, did you say something? Never mind.
Filled with illness and disease, Arif is on a quest for informed health. Presenting My Health, My Choice. One host, 27 experts. Health issues in Sarawak.
How am I supposed to know all this?
How dare you say like that to an older lady?
You simok lah. Phew. You okay? Hey. Larry, lomba bis. In Malaysia, the legal drinking age is 21 years old and above. But a lot of Sarawakians start younger. Oh, look, Snoop Dogg. Anyway, did you know that our region is among the top when it comes to drinking alcohol? Well, not that surprising. But let's explore why Sarawakians like to drink so much and how is it affecting our people.
Arif speaks to Mr. Janot, a local tuak brewer.
How long have you been brewing tuak?
More or less about 3 years now. Previously, my grandmother did about home base lah, for own consumption and as gift lah.
Di luar sana ada perception about our state or Sarawak. They have a drinking problem. What do you say about that?
Well, itu perception orang yang datang. Mungkin nya baca, mungkin nya si datang situ. Tuak itself, because since it's passed through generation, number one is a ritual, number two is for festival, number three is socialization lah. When you go to ritual is more to sacred. If you go for festival, you see your guests coming, then you serve tuak. But for socialization, when you drink tuak, it's not that you drink until you get drunken, but to lively, merrier lah.
Yeah.
Kami belum sampai tahap ya untuk fikir apa yang perlu diperbaiki. Cuma mungkin kita madah tuak di ban, alkohol di ban, si boleh minum sebab ya salah satu daripada minuman tradisi. Apa saja yang kita mula berpada-padalah. Kedak kita makan nasi, orang luar kita makan satu pinggang, you makan satu periuk. Mati juga, samalah.
Maybe kita boleh explain sikit what is in front of us right now?
Di situ kita ada lebih kurang 11 jenis lah. Kita semua plant based, jadi semua local ingredient. If diberi peluang untuk memperbesarkan tuak tu, nya si ada masalah sampai ke dunia luar lah.
I can see from our conversation today, there's a huge opportunity that we can do economically and also promoting the culture we have here in Sarawak.
Whatever thing you do, whatever thing you take in moderation, nya jadi ubat. Tapi mun you ambil berlebihan, nya jadi racun. So, ya lah.
Religion and cultural sensitivities aside, like what Mr. Janet said, outcomes of consuming alcohol depends on how much you drink. In moderation or not, it's up to you. But know that when drinking alcohol, it triggers the endorphin system in the brain. That's why people feel a bit more relaxed and they cool down on their impulses. There's a change in behavior after you see people having a few rounds of drinks. They feel a bit happy, a bit outgoing, and sometimes a bit cranky. Generally, there are two types of drinkers. The first one, social drinkers. And these are people who drink to relax, on vacation, or to get that extra liquid courage at special occasions. Then there's people who drink to cope or to distress. For example, people who drink at the end of a long workday, or sometimes people who drink to cope with life, to get through tough times. But till what tipping point does alcohol becomes a problem? Let's ask an expert about that. My health, my choice. Your health, your choice. My health, my choice. Your health, your choice.
To discuss alcohol and alcoholism, Arif speaks to Dr. Winnie. She's a lecturer and public health medicine specialist from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of UNIMAS.
Good morning, Dr. Winnie.
Good morning, Arif.
So today we're going to talk about alcohol. What is alcoholism?
Alcoholism is a general which usually refers to drinking alcohol usually results in physical or mental problems, health problems. But medically, we usually refer it as alcohol use disorder, AUD. So AUD is a medical condition when someone has difficulties or impaired ability to stop or even control their alcohol use despite having social problems, medical problems. Commonly, this AUD can be interchangeably known as, like, for example, alcohol abuse, alcohol dependence, alcohol addiction, alcoholism.
According to our Ministry of Health, here are some symptoms of alcohol addiction. Having a strong urge to drink. Having the inability to stop drinking. Developing physical dependence on alcohol, such as sweating, shaking, and nausea when you do not drink alcohol. Having the need to increase the amount of alcohol intake. Continuing to drink, although it causes complications. And speaking highly of alcohol consumption.
Does Sarawak have a drinking problem?
Arif, before I answer that questions, perhaps it is best if, let's say, I share national statistics about alcohol drinkers. There was a recent study conducted by National Health and Mobility Survey in 2019, of which that study revealed that those aged 15 years and above in Malaysia, including adults, about 11.9% of this population actually current alcohol drinkers. So when we say current alcohol drinkers in this context was they ever had alcoholic beverage at least once for the past 12 months during that period of study. According to this survey, 1 in 2 who were drinkers actually had binge drinking. In here, we actually refer binge drinking of having 6 or more drinks, 6 or more alcoholic beverages at one time. And 1 in 10 were actually having heavy episodic drinking, which refers to also having 6 or more standard drinks at one time, yeah, for every week. Sarawak is actually having high prevalence of alcohol drinkers also. So just now I quoted national figures about 11%. Sarawak is almost doubled. I'm answering your question. Yes, we do have some sort of problems with alcohol in Sarawak.
Any studies that we could zoom in a bit more that happening here in Sarawak?
Oh yes, there was recently a local study. They conducted a statewide survey among the Dayaks, adolescents, 1,500 of them. They found out that half of these respondents actually ever had an alcoholic consumption, alcoholic beverages for the past 12 months during at the point of study. Yeah, 1/3 actually had hazardous drinking, 5% actually had harmful drinking, and 3% of them already developed alcohol dependency.
What are the dangers of alcohol addiction and how will it also impact our lives?
High-risk alcohol drinking usually related to or may lead to dangers, for example, social issues, legal issues, medical issues, domestic issues, long list of it. Yeah, there's a lot of family conflicts in the family, negligence, divorce, family abuse, domestic violence, and it comes to work also. Definitely, because need time to recover, then that leads to absenteeism from work. You feel fatigue, and that affects your work production. And long term, in long run, I think that will definitely also leads to unemployment. If you involve with machines, you may end up having injury at work. Another one that I would like to share is about legislative issue. Alcohol drinkers are usually caught up with criminal offense, drinking under alcohol influence.
With all of that being said, drinking alcohol is not a crime, right?
Well, it is not a crime, but there is after effect of it. So it is not a crime of drinking, but if you're caught driving, for example, and under alcohol influence, definitely it's a crime.
The difference between how it affects male and how does it affect female? Is it the same thing or?
Alcohol, you need to know it is a psychoactive substance which contains ethanol as its active ingredient. Ethanol in alcoholic beverages is a type of drug. We call it suppressors. So suppressors, it can suppress our nerves activities and also can affect other physical organs. If it affects our nervous system, and for example, some may even have seizures, memory loss, blackouts. Alcohol can also affect our blood vessels, and that explains hypertension. Other than that, alcohol also affects our gastrointestinal organs. In long run, may also have problems with the pancreas, liver problems. The significant difference or the significant problems it poses to male and female. Male, usually it may affect the sexual performance. And for female, those with chronic alcoholism, for example, women may have affecting their reproductive system, for example, like miscarriages. They have problems with their menstruation. Or if they're pregnant, they even have babies with fetal alcohol syndrome, which these babies actually having problems with their brain and also growth issues.
There is this thing where peer pressure. So what do you think about that?
So undeniably, peer pressure can lead to alcohol consumption or even up to the extent of abuse. It can be direct pressure or indirect. Direct as in your peers explicitly ask you to drink.
Right.
Indirect is based on you witness others or you've seen observing others been drinking alcohol, so you are also inclined to or motivated to do so.
What about in the context of Sarawak? Peer drinking together means peer pressure, or does it actually means something else?
Yes, definitely. It's a welcoming gesture. So I think that could be one of the reasons, because of the cultures, the traditions that we have, that contributed to the high numbers of alcohol drinkers in Sarawak.
What are your thoughts on individuals who drink a lot and using culture to justify their drinking habit?
Personally, I think it still goes back to individual factors. It doesn't mean that you're born in a family with strong alcohol influence. You can actually choose not to drink or being abstinent. Even it is quite difficult to be alcohol abstinence, in Sarawak context, but at least be a responsible drinker. To be a responsible drinker, you need to know how much you have consumed. So for information, alcohol intake is not being measured in terms of how many glasses or how many bottles or cans. Total alcohol intake is measured using a standard drink unit. is defined as a drink which has 10 grams of ethanol. So, for example, one standard unit of alcohol, if let's say you have a can of beer, for example, beer of 3.6% alcohol, one can of 440 mils, that is one standard unit, all right? And then if let's say if you have about 100 mils of tuak, let's say it contains about ranging about 13.5% alcohol, that is one standard unit.
So how does that translate to our tolerance when people start to drink?
Okay, that depends on individuals' tolerance, how our body can accept. Some people can take a lot in one time, but they might not have that effect immediately. But some may just take maybe a few drinks, they can have that effect very fast. So it goes back to individual. So knowing your own tolerance level, you should be watching out the amount of alcohol you are taking.
Age, does age also affect how much we can drink?
Well, depends. If you've been starting drinking from young age, and as you continue drinking, as age increases, after many years of drinking, your tolerance level has been increasing, so you tend to take more alcohol.
How do we say no gracefully?
I think no one should feel being pressured to drink, which is against their wishes or judgment. In Sarawak, you know, it's unique. Most of the time, you can't run away from any social functions or activities. So if there is no way out for you, you can just say, I'm sorry, I cannot take this. Another trick is perhaps always carry a drink with you, maybe an empty bottle or a canned non-alcoholic beverages to avoid yourself being offered any.
Dr. Winnie has provided us with some great information. If you're looking to slow down on the drinking, here are some other tips and tricks. Go slow, go easy, stretch out your drinks throughout the night, or day for that matter. Make friends with the bartender. Order something non-alcoholic, or perhaps something on the lighter side of things. And if you're providing reasonable excuses, like I'm driving or I have to wake up early the next day, be mindful that it might not work all the time. But it is important for you to be honest about your approach towards alcohol. It's up to you. It's your health, it's your choice, ba? What's your advice for people who are starting to show symptoms of alcoholism?
Let's say you've identified yourself having these problems or alcohol problems, it is best that you start do something about them. You know, you intervene early so that you won't have a long-term effect of alcoholism. So you can get help. First, of course, lifestyle modifications. If let's say you can't do it by your own, it is best to get help from the professionals. You can just go to the nearest health clinics and your risk of alcohol consumption will be assessed using the screening tool. We call it as Alcohol Use Disorders Identification Tool, Audit 10. It will assess your alcohol consumption, your drinking behaviors, or whether you have developed any alcohol-related problems.
So what's next after that?
So if let's say your scores are less than 15, if let's say you're going to Klinik Kesehatan, we'll refer you for counseling, health advice, perhaps we'll enroll you into a support group if let's say that center has it. But if let's say your scores are more than 15, we will get a professional experts referring you to psychologists or psychiatrists because there are medications to help you with your cravings or with your alcohol dependency. You may also get other help from the NGOs, for example. Have you ever heard of Alcoholic Anonymous?
Search online.
Yes, okay. So www.aamalaysia.org.
What's your advice for our fellow Sarawakians?
Alcohol abstinence is the best, but knowing that with our strong culture, traditions in Sarawak, my only one advice is be responsible drinker. Know your limits, cut down on drinking if you can. But otherwise, be mindful. Every time you need to drink. That's all from me.
My health, my choice. Your health, your choice. My health, my choice. Your health, your choice. Now that we've talked about alcohol and alcoholism, let's divert a little to talk about a beverage that we all should be drinking enough of.
As cliche as it sounds, it's water. Water absorbs metabolic heat within our bodies, maintains vascular volume, and also serves as the medium for transport within the body by supplying nutrients and removing waste. But did you know? Apparently, it was found that despite us knowing the importance of sufficient water intake, many of us still do not know how much water we should consume in a day.
In our Malaysian dietary guidelines, our Ministry of Health dedicated a whole section towards the key message of drinking plenty of water daily.
Generally, it is recommended that we drink 6 to 8 glasses of plain water daily. This should amount to 1.5 or 2 liters of water, even when we are not thirsty. We should be drinking enough water to replace the water that we lose during physical activities too. In the case of increased physical activity and sweating, it is recommended that we increase our water intake by at least 2 extra glasses.
Meanwhile, we should drink more water at high altitudes because when atmospheric pressure decreases, the rate of transpiration increases.
Arif meets dietitian Ling to learn more about this beverage.
Mr. Ling,
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Arif. Yeah.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
If we drink, let's say for example, coffee, tea, or any other sweetened beverages, does it count as water intake?
Good question for most of the people. I believe many people will mention they are drinking tea, coffee every day, but not plain water. They are counted as our daily water intake, okay, or daily fluid intake. In fact, in the Malaysian dietary guidelines, actually they do encourage us to take water or fluid from different sources, such as soup, juices, or maybe beverages, but of course preferably low in sugar and also fat. Okay, but also another reminder, Malaysian dietary guidelines also mention about the minimum requirement for the fluid intake, which is 6 to 8 glasses of plain water. So whatever fluid you wanted to take, from my point of view, as long as you fulfill the 6 to 8 glasses of minimum plain water intake, I think it is leave it up to you. But you cannot just mention I drink 6 or 8 glasses of coffee and then it is considered as the full water intake of the day lah. So for tea and coffee, usually we will recommend about, maximum 2 cups.
We hear about drinking water to offset the sodium intake that goes into our body. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, definitely. Water will help to remove the excess sodium in the body, but it does not completely offset the effects that bring from the high sodium content in the body. Try to control your sodium intake. Try not to overtake and then causing your body to have a lot of, maybe seizures, maybe muscle twitching, some serious one, maybe coma or even death. So of course, we try to go for healthy food, okay?
We are seeing a lot of water dispenser.
Yeah.
Does it really make a difference comparing dispenser water and boiled water?
Most people will prefer the dispensed water nowadays, mainly because of its convenience. So it is actually a cost-effective and also energy-efficient way to obtain a safe-to-drink water. So the key point here is, I think as long as the water is safe and then it is free from contaminants, you can drink it, no issue. Okay, but of course, I think it is based on personal, choices lah.
Could you share with us some practical advice that will help us drink more water in the day?
Bringing a reusable water bottle can actually helps to remind you to drink water. So what you can do is, depending on the bottle size, okay, let's try to set a target. 6 glasses to 8 glasses usually is about 1.5 to 2 liters per day. By targeting this, you make sure you drink sufficient water. I think it is pretty easy lah. Sometimes people cannot really do 1.5 to 2 liters per day. So that's why people will try to use other drinks, other beverages to actually to cope up or to add on the water. It is not advisable, but of course, as long as you are taking water, no matter what type of beverages, it kind of give you water.
What is your ultimate advice to Sarawakians to encourage them to drink more water?
By drinking water, you can feel energized, you can maintain a clear skin, and the most important thing is to keep your health. Let's try and then see the effect.
Yeah. Straight away?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right,
So, yeah.
here we go.
Okay.
Water is life.
Yeah.
Oha.
Ooh-ha.
Water tastes better after you explain how
Yeah,
good
definitely.
water is.
Plain water.
Plain
Best
water, man.
Yeah.
In this episode, we talk about alcoholism and also a little bit about drinking water. And if your dependency on alcohol is affecting your daily life, remember, it is treatable. To find out more about which course of treatment is suitable for you, talk to a professional for evaluation. In Sarawak, alcoholic drinks intertwine with culture and identities. But just like everything else we consume, we should exercise moderation. Drink wisely for your health. And remember, my health, my choice, your health, your choice.